Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Hoven from Ramos Law and your host of Health Matters. Today, I want to talk about exercise. Should you do it at home or should it be supervised, especially if you've been injured and are coming back from that injury? We're going to talk about it next on Health Matters. You know, as I was in practice, I started taking a lot of sports injuries classes so that in the first 3 years of my practice, now I graduated in 1991, so it's been a minute. But in the first 3 years of my practice, I got a sports injuries diplomate where I was working with teams and athletes and all these different kinds of people who were getting injured. Now, when those world-class athletes that I had gotten the chance to take care of, those high school athletes, when all these people would get injured, there was a rehab protocol that was part of the plan, right? So after injury, you didn't get back on the field until you went through your process to make sure that you were healed. Unfortunately, the general population, mom and pop, weekend warrior, these kinds of folks that are getting injured from whatever reason, it could be from some sort of trauma, it could be from overuse syndrome, it could be from bad posture, degeneration, or a combination of things. Most people don't think about the rehab and the exercise portion of getting back into their life at the level they want to. In other words, a lot of us don't think of ourselves as elite athletes, but look at it this way. If you're having to take care of your family, whether it be from a job or taking care of them at home, or if you have employees that you've got to take care of, if you're chasing your dreams in any way, you're just like a professional athlete. And when you've been injured, it requires oftentimes, virtually every time, some sort of rehab that goes along with your recovery. So if you've gone to the chiropractor to make sure that your headaches are better or your neck pain or your back pain, and that gets helped with adjustments, you still need to strengthen and stabilize the areas that were involved so that those same things don't recur. If you've gotten a surgery, all those tissues have been compromised under the surgical process, they need to be rehabbed. If you've gotten acupuncture or massage, all of these things require some sort of stabilization or generalized movement in order to help you get the most benefit from your treatment. So I think if you think about that, it makes sense, right? Well, here's the deal. I've heard so many times throughout my treating career, like, Doc, I'll just do the exercises at home. To which I say, okay, but when you come back next time, I'm gonna check to see if you're doing them, number one, and number two, if you're doing them correctly. Because what I've seen all too many times is without supervision, the person that you tell to do body weight squats with ends up either A, getting too busy with work and with family and all that stuff, they forget to do them, or if they do them, they're not doing the type and the frequency the way that you want. So I want you doing these 5 times a day, 5 reps each time. When you come back and talk to them, did they do that? They didn't really get that much done. Or what can be even worse, if they're doing the right number of sets, the right number of reps, the right resistance, but they're doing the form incorrectly. So if you're watching this right now and you've been told by a provider that they want you doing exercise and you're in that same mindset that so many are, like, oh, I'll just do it from home, or man, I already know how to do these. Before that happens, my recommendation is this, is that you prove with your provider that you know how to do those exercises exactly the right way so that you don't create an abnormal movement pattern which can actually prevent your healing from happening as fast as it should or can actually cause more damage. So for example, we've talked about the squat before on another video. If I'm leading with my knees, and you can't see this, but if I lead with my knees, I'm putting more stress on my knees instead of leading by hinging my hips or hinging my pelvis. Those little things make a huge difference. What's the width of my stance? All these things add up to the proper result. So as you're going through this, remember, talk to your providers. If you are coming back from an injury, make sure that if you're gonna do home exercises, that you've done enough supervised exercises and movement first, that you've got the pattern grooved correctly in your mind. Because if it's grooved right in your mind and you can do it right in front of your providers, then and only then should you consider making your home-based exercise for rehab the main method that you do, okay? And if you've never been to a provider and you're having all these pains, go to a provider that's used to movement therapy. Go to a personal trainer. Now, the thing about personal trainers, they're amazing, but if they're not looking at it from an injury recovery standpoint versus, hey, I'm gonna help you get bigger, faster, stronger, or lose weight or whatever, those are two different items. So just make sure that you're choosing the providers for the thing that you're looking for. Now, in the meantime, full body movement is amazing. So no matter what you're rehabbing, if it's a shoulder, there should be very specific ways that you rehab a shoulder. But you also don't just want to limit your movement to the shoulder. You want to get some of the surrounding joints, because by doing rehab on more of a global nature, or movement globally and rehab locally, you're going to stimulate the brain to get you better results here. So it's not just one isolated active movement for a shoulder. We want a lot of different things that connect with the shoulder or talk with the shoulder neurologically to be priming great shoulder movement. Now, I know there's a lot there. If you have questions about this, please feel free to email me. My email is jim@ramoslaw.com, and ask me questions. We can talk about it. We can do all of these things to help you get movement down the way that it should be done. And also, if you found this helpful, please share it with someone. There's nothing that I love better is when someone says, hey, you know what? I got your video from my mom and it really helped me. That just makes my day, and it just fills my heart. And it's why that I do this and why we at Ramos Law do this. Because at the end of the day, what we really believe and what we really know to be true is your health matters.